1950s monster movies coupled with late 80s gore and F-bombs. Combine this with a quirky cast of characters faced with a worm problem, the likes of which no one is really prepared to deal with, except for maybe this guy. And you've got one of the greatest monster movies to come out of the last century. Tremors. Some say it's a love letter to the 1950s monster movie. I say it's a farewell letter to a genre and an era. Not to mention, I can't think of any other movie that opens up with someone urinating off of a cliff. Here are the top 4 reasons why we love Tremors. Val and Earl are far from heroes in the town of perfection. They bulldoze the garbage dump, run fences, pump septic tanks, and do whatever else they can to scrape together enough money to live within their meager means. What Val has got that Earl doesn't are aspirations, and what Earl's got that Val lacks is a sense of business and the experience that comes along with age.
It is Monday, right?
Their camaraderie and the care that they have for one another is heartwarming and familial, if you can ignore the insults they hurl at one another.
I guess when I'm your age, I'll forget what I eat too.
The antagonistic, patronizing nature of the camaraderie between Val and Earl launches this countdown of the top 4 reasons as to why we love Tremors. But the real question still remains.
I did it yesterday.
No, it was eggs. I did eggs.
Who made breakfast yesterday? Something is burrowing under the small town of Perfection, Nevada. Not only that, but it's eating the residents. And the sheep. Val and Earl, despite their best efforts to get out of town, get caught up in the mystery surrounding the strange deaths. The thing is, they want nothing to do with it.
We decided to leave this place just one damn day too late.
After Perfection is cut off by a landslide caused by an attack from one of the creatures, it's decided that the only way to get help is to send these two out on horseback. They go to warn the resident doctor and his wife, but only find their buried station wagon, a point in the plot that only deepens the mystery for the duo. Horrified at the implications, Val and Earl decide there's no sense wasting time. They still don't know much about what's behind the inexplicable deaths of the locals at this point, and that's why the look of dumbfounded astonishment of both Val and Earl during the big monster reveal has wormed its way to number 3 on our list. While there's not much revealed about the biology of the Graboids and Tremors, whose scientific name is Cadaris americana, but you probably don't care about that, the sequels expand on the lore just a little bit, establishing that they are in fact Precambrian life forms. This doesn't really jive with accepted notions of paleobiology. For example, what would Graboids have eaten in the Precambrian era, as there were no life forms large enough to feed it? But after getting stranded on a rock with graduate student Rhonda LeBeck, Earl and Val pass around a few theories.
Government built them.
So they predate the fossil record.
I vote for outer space.
This only serves to deepen the mystery about the creature's origins, which makes their characterization in the movie all the more interesting and terrifying. How can you fight something if you don't know where it's from? It's like the first Predator film when it came out. Nobody knew what the Predator was capable of or where it was from. It's kind of the same thing with the Graboids. If you're not sure what kind of biology your enemy has, whether terrestrial or otherworldly, how can you know its vulnerabilities? So this obscurity regarding the origins of the Graboids is one of the great things about the first movie, because it offers no explanations. It's up to the audience to determine what they believe is true. The uniqueness of the solution to the problem of, where do these monsters come from, is what makes this reason number 2 as to why we love Tremors. Now, for some honorable mentions. Rhonda's nose, this cooler, this truck. That dozer, Reba's impeccable accent.
Come on, Nancy, let's don't get personal about this thing. Down, honey, down. You didn't get penetration even with the elephant gun.
This leaky septic pump, and Earl and Val's default way of settling disputes. A basement full of guns, Reba McEntire dual-wielding pistols, and a flesh-eating monster the size of a sperm whale bursting through the wall. I mean, slaughtering something of this size with all that firepower has got to be worth a spot on somebody's list. It's a brutal battle between human and monster as Burt and Heather strive to protect their homestead against the assailing Graboid. Round after deafening round is fired in the confines of the bunker, shredding the thick hide of the Graboid and riddling its carapace with holes. It takes a blast from Burt's double-barreled elephant rifle to finally put the Graboid out of commission, with its heaving, hemorrhaging bulk coming to rest at last on the basement floor, dead and defeated. Conquering the Conqueror Worm is quite the feat, and the culminating moment for this scene comes after Burt collapses against the back wall and declares to the dead Graboid,
"Broke into the wrong goddamn rec room, didn't you, you bastard?"
The entire basement shootout itself, from the breaching Graboid to the swelling swagger of Burt after its death, is what makes this reason number one as to why we love the movie Tremors. I remember watching Tremors when I was only 4 years old. It both enticed and terrified me. It made me fearful of stepping onto the ground, and I lived in rural Alabama. It's all ground. And at 4 years old, who am I to dispute the existence of giant Graboids tunneling underfoot? But still, I loved it so much that I watched and rewatched it every chance I got, and still love it to this day. It's the penultimate 80s monster movie. But there you have it, the top 4 reasons why we love Tremors.